this island called Millennium Island for the celebrations that you're looking at now. It's a Micronesian celebration of hope. You're looking at a very traditional celebration going on there. That's one of the wonderful things about our coverage. You're going to see things that are very traditional like this, very modern. This is an ancient ceremony going on Millennium Island by the Micronesian people who live there. The Micronesians are from the very small islands in this Pacific area. The claps are part of their chant, and the song that they're singing is a song asking for unity in the new millennium.
And they apparently have it, because they are now unified, and they're all together dancing and chanting, and it is now 2000. It's January 1st, the year 2000, on the island of Kiribati. And you're now seeing the pictures there, the first pictures of the millennium.
All right. Michael Holmes is in Sydney and joins us now live. Michael?
You're looking at a beautiful picture there, Colleen, of the Opera House, Sydney Harbour Bridge. It's ironic that you know that the Opera House now considered one of Australia's icons. And the first of the fireworks have begun. Magnificent. Sydney, Australia. A magnificent fireworks display underway here. It will continue for 23 minutes and will cost some $3.5 million. They're claiming it's going to be the biggest fireworks display on Earth. And you can see in your picture there even the Opera House taking part. It's the first and only time the Opera House will be used to launch fireworks.
Just in case they can't, there's an army of surf lifesavers are here. Belinda, it's a massive effort by a lot of volunteers to just keep this place safe, isn't it?
It is. It's very hectic here tonight. I think half of Brisbane's here, so we're being kept very busy.
Is it so far so good? Everybody behaving themselves? No major incident?
Most people, not too much around the pool, but a few birthday cases we've had to attend to.
Tremendous. I think the fireworks, of course, signal New Year's. Any special resolutions for you?
Behave myself.
And are you a Queenslander? Is this home for you?
Yes, it is.
And is it a special build-up? You've been here working around the South Bank Parklands now for a couple of years. A lot of changes here, a lot of money being spent to upgrade it and make it more accessible for Queenslanders. Exciting place to work?
Yes, definitely. I think anything's exciting at this time of year, and we're an establishment like this.
And as you can hear, it's all happening here in Brisbane. We might have had to wait an hour or so, but we're right into it.
Looking at the fireworks there on the banks of the Brisbane River, and the vantage of South Bank.
The lights have just been dimmed here on the grounds of Zojoji Temple now that we're into the final seconds of 1999 here in Japan. You can hear the crowd getting extremely excited. They've got 5,000 clear balloons prepared here with wishes attached for what they want to come true in the new millennium. Here comes the countdown now. Let's listen
first
in.
Millennium baby. Even saw some live pictures of that when we were able to get to meet because we were in Tokyo looking at events there.
And there you have it, the New Year in Tokyo. Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu, as they say here in Japanese, or Happy New Year from Japan. What you just heard was the ringing of a massive bell. As you can see behind me now, Tokyo Tower is also
And
lit
that is
in some
how
brilliant
it went
colors.
at the stroke of
It's got
midnight
a
in Seoul,
2000 sign
South
on it, a 2000 sign also adorning the main temple of Zojoji Temple here. You can see the balloons heading off into the atmosphere. 5,000 balloons were prepared for this occasion. They're clear plastic balloons that we're told are friendly for the atmosphere, and as I said, they're containing these little messages, personal wishes from the Japanese that set them off. We spoke to some people earlier on. Some said they were simply wishing for good entrance exams, good results for entrance exams next year. Others, of course, making wishes for better prosperity, better times for the Japanese economy, which, as you know, has been going through some difficult times. In any case, absolute excitement here as Japan welcomes the new millennium.
25.000 pessoas.
Ipakita natin sa buong mundo ang pagsalubong ng sambayanang Pilipino sa bagong milenyo. 28 seconds to go. 20 seconds to go and counting.
'Pictures from Bangkok, Thailand, and it is also midnight in Jakarta, Indonesia, 2 spots in the world that are now celebrating a new millennium.
Wherever you are, where you stay, happy millennium!
สวัสดีปีใหม่อีกครั้งนะครับขึ้นกับเพลงเสียงชัยโยครับใช่ใช่ใช่ และวินาทีความสำคัญนี้นะครับพวกเราทุกคนจะร่วมกันจารึกไว้ในความทรงจำของเรานะครับ 1,000 ปีต่อไปเราคงไม่มีโอกาสได้สัมผัสบรรยากาศแบบนี้
Square, and there is also a huge crowd at Tverskaya Street. There are 2 big celebrations in Moscow tonight. Everything in Russia is concerned with politics, so there's one party that's being run by the city and another party that's being run by the national government, and that's the one you're looking at right now behind me.
And there you, of course, see the very center of the cathedral that was built in the 16th century by the Order of Ivan, sometimes known as Ivan the Terrible. There are actually 9 domes there on the cathedral, and each one a separate church. And there, the Kremlin, standing on top of one of Moscow's 7 hills. The sense of history in this place, and very deeply troubled history sometimes, Mort, is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary, and I was talking with one of my colleagues and an old friend of yours, our cameraman Max, who just a few moments ago said, never in my life could I imagine that there would be such a wild, wide-open, democratic, free speech kind of celebration as there is tonight here in Moscow.
Midnight in Moscow.
Happy New Year, Peter.
Happy New Year to you, Mort. Russia was one of the countries people were very concerned about when it came to Y2K problems, but as best we can tell from reporting around Russia, the telephone and electricity grids, certainly up at Vladivostok on the Pacific coast, defied all of the Y2K doomsayers and remained in operation. No problem throughout Siberia, no problem throughout the Urals, where many of Russia's nuclear weapons are sold. Have you seen? Sometimes called Manger Square. It was until several months ago an enormous parking lot for trucks and buses from Moscow to the north, because there are more Muslims and Christians who live there at the moment. Here is the celebration with the doves of peace, which mark the new millennium.
Move a little bit further south to Lagos in Nigeria. Something of a dance party underway in Lagos. This is a square when we pass the traditional capital of Nigeria, which is Lagos. The country now has an official capital at Abuja, but this is a ceremony in a place where Nigerians have traditionally gone to celebrate and share an important message to you. This has been, of course, an interesting political year for Nigeria.
Rich and culturally diverse society in its own right, about 114 million people or so.
Midnight, and as that begins, the River of Fire will extend right up the Thames River. As we say, the crowds are very thick, the mood is very anticipatory. This should be quite something to see.
largest demonstration you have ever seen. Let us assure you that this, in fact, is the case. In fact, they claim that this is such an elaborate demonstration of the pyrotechnic power of the British that you would be able to see this from space if you had been in space to watch all this. It's 39 tons of fireworks, all operated by remote control, and you can see on the River Thames.
This is Larry King in Los Angeles. It's midnight. Approaching in the Western Hemisphere, and the first city to get it, major city, is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Copacabana Beach. There is the scene. It's summer in Brazil, and it's 5 seconds to go. Let's watch together.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2000 has arrived in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and in the Western Hemisphere. There you see the celebration in one of the world's more beautiful cities. What a day this has been. CNN brilliantly, I think, has covered this. We're going to check in momentarily with Charles Ziwi, who is on the scene in Rio de Janeiro. And there's the fireworks going off at Copacabana Beach. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 2000 has arrived. All right, Charles Ziwi, where are you and what's happening?
Larry, I'm standing in the surf here on the Copacabana Beach, and the third Millennium, Larry, has arrived in the Americas. This is the scene. Fireworks overhead, beautiful fireworks in the colors of the Brazilian flag of yellow and green. This is supposed to go on for about 18 minutes before it finally finishes in a 20,000 shell explosion of gold and silver and white shells. 2 million, perhaps as many as 2 million people are on the beach here. They're saying it could be 3 million, 5 million overall in Brazil on beaches here. Tourists, Brazilians alike. They call them cariocas. This is a country that is celebrating what it hopes will be a new birth of its economy in the new millennium. Brazil has long been considered a third world country, but the president of Brazil told me today he hopes this New Year's marks the end of that this country will go and become a modern country. This is still a country, though, where most of the people earn only 165 reals a month. That's about the equivalent of 75 US dollars. So here's the scene. This party is expected to go on all night long. Larry?
Thanks, Charles. There's the scene in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Llegó el 2000 a la Argentina. Empezó el tercer milenio en nuestro país.
Vamos a celebrar. Qué bonito, la gente ya comienza a prepararse.
Mira acá.
Deseo para el nuevo milenio.
Que la cosa funcione para todos. Espectacular.
Amor, mucho amor. Felipe.
Mucha paz en Chile y en el mundo de todas maneras. Aunque suene cliché, paz y amor es lo que necesita el mundo. Ya veremos, estamos casi listos, muchachos. Por favor.
¿Al tiro ya?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. a todo el equipo de Televisa. ¡Feliz año nuevo! ¡Feliz año nuevo! ¡Felipe! ¡Rafita! ¡Eso!
Felicidades, Andreita, felicidades. Ay,
A nuestros compañeros de trabajo.
A la familia de Chile le deseamos lo mejor del mundo.
A todos los que estamos trabajando esta noche, a TVN, que algunos vinieron con parte de su familia, otros no. Muchachos, felicidades.
Felicidades, felicidades. Es un año precioso para todos.
Está solo también, siéntese acompañado. Oye, para nuestros amigos, nuestros compañeros de trabajo que están haciendo cámara aquí, a la gente que está haciendo sonido, iluminación, maquillaje, tramoya, todo, vestuario, todo. Si no fuera por ellos no podríamos estar aquí. Gracias, muchas gracias.
A todos quienes están trabajando, a todos quienes lo están pasando muy bien. Un besito grande a la gran familia de TVN, a la gran familia de Chile, a la gran familia del mundo.
A nuestra directora, Laura Coloro, que se ha lucido esta noche. Oye, un CHI, un CHI. ¡Vamos, dice Felipe! ¡CHI! ¡Viva Chile!
¡Salud!
Are you done? Okay, Toronto. Listen to him. Okay, Canada. Okay, North America. Okay, world. The year 2000 is less than a minute away. It will be a new millennium.
I'm so excited for it, and you know, this show is extra special to me because this is my last on-air show at City TV. I'm pretty excited. I'm sad to be leaving, but it's a great time.
Let's get back to the mayor. I think he has something else to say to this crowd.
Everybody join me in counting the dozen home. Join me in counting down to the new millennium.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the new millennium. As we gather together at Toronto's waterfront for the most spectacular fireworks show in Canadian history, we look forward with hope and anticipation to making the greatest city in the world even greater.
Y una multitud abarrotando el Zócalo, esperando ya el contexto final.
Ya vamos a empezar a contar.
Tienes toda la razón, Mayra. 100 millones de personas 51, que son los que estamos ya esperando esta llegada. Llegamos al nuevo milenio. Aquí están los segundos. Señores y señoras,
Estamos viendo aquí en la pantalla cómo se acerca ya 10 y bueno, estamos viendo los segundos cómo se van aproximando al fin del milenio.
Porque gracias a ustedes estamos aquí, gracias a ustedes estamos celebrando
estamos enlazando esta festividad muy mexicana para ustedes. Ahí va, 20, 18, 16, 17, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
esperanza que solamente con la unidad podremos llevar a cabo.
Bueno, pues es muy importante mencionar que ahorita estamos escuchando las campanadas, 12 campanadas de la catedral, una hermosa catedral que tenemos aquí enfrente. Y bueno, pues es emocionante ver también estas luces que están programadas, luces robóticas, Fernando de la Mora, que ya acaba de cantar. Ernesto, estas luces robóticas que están ahorita en los cielos, cruzándose. ¿Sabías tú que por internet los pueden diseñar sus luces?
Sí, esto es obra de un ingeniero muy joven, mexicano obviamente, y él a través de internet se ha manifestado con su alegría a través de las luces del nuevo año, del nuevo milenio.
Muy bien, pues ya estamos recibiendo el nuevo año, el nuevo milenio. Vean ustedes estas campanas espectaculares, enormes, con las 12 campanadas precisamente, como les decíamos, de la catedral para recibirlo. Y bueno, todo el mundo con el México, tan típico, ¿verdad?
Es lo que nos identifica a los mariachis, la alegría y llevar nuestra identidad nacional muy adentro del corazón.
Great cities in the rest of the Pacific time zone, and that includes the states of Washington, Seattle,
as we count down
the state of Oregon,
25 seconds.
California,
across the city to count
down with us.
We're getting ready to rest 21 seconds. You see the
Canada, countdown. Maybe we should be quiet and listen to what's going on. San Francisco.